Hello everyone and welcome to a really nice game from the first ever online Olympiad for people with disabilities organized by FIDE. Like the previous time we've done this, FIDE asked me to choose a game and decided my favorite to nominate it for the Gazprom Brilliancy Prize, and this is the game that I have chosen. Now I didn't go through all of the games because there were 400 players with reserves. It was 61 teams from 45 different countries, but rather FIDE sent me some 15 games for me to choose from, and this is the one I chose. But before we check out the game, it's a game between Michael Aigner and Adriano Albiani Barata. Just a short message from Grandmaster Thomas Luta. So let's check that out, and then we're gonna continue with the game. So here it is.
Hi everybody, this is Thomas Luther. Thanks Antonio for having me in your channel. 2 days ago, the Olympiad for people with disabilities concluded. My congratulations to the winners, the Polish team who won gold, and also to the Russian team, the silver medalist, and Ukraine, the bronze medalist. Yeah, congratulations, and of course congratulations to all the players who participated. I know having a disability is never easy, and by participation all the players already overcame lots of their personal problems. It's a great success story. For me, this Olympiad is a very personal issue. You might know that I'm a person with a disability, and 20 years ago, well, I not only became Grandmaster, I was the first player with a disability who entered the FIDE top 100 list. Since then, I'm in organizing, and at this moment, I'm chairing the FIDE Commission for the Disabled. In this job, I was part of organizing this tournament, the Olympiad for Disabled, and it was a huge step forward into the future. The Chess Olympiad itself is nearly 100 years old. Later on, the Olympiads for women and for juniors were added. So this is just another step to this great event, that we now have the competition for people with disabilities. To have a Brilliancy Prize is a great idea, and thanks to the sponsors of this prize, and there were lots of interesting games played in this event, lots of nice games, lots of nice combinations, and the choice wasn't easy. So my vote goes finally to the game of Michael Aigner versus Adriano Barata. Here, white had a very nice kingside attack with a piece sacrifice and later a beautiful checkmate. So, okay, congratulations to Michael. This is my vote. And thanks for everybody who helped support this event. Thank you so much.
So there you have it. Thank you, Thomas, for that wonderful message. I also went through all of the games, and I decided that this one was the game to show. And here it is. Here's the game, and we're gonna talk a little bit about well, the Olympiad and Thomas and some other things after we check out the game. We're not gonna dwell too long on every move, but we are going to cover the most important parts as usual. So Aigner opens with e4. Sorry about that. For example, for some reason the board is not functioning. I will have to refresh it. There we go. All right, so e4. We have c5, the Sicilian defense is on the board, and now knight to c3. So not going for the main line, going for the closed Sicilian. We have knight to c6 and now g3, preparing to fianchetto the light square bishop. We have g6 and now bishop to g2. Black does the same, bishop g7 and d3. And here this line is played a lot in top tier games. However, here d6 is the top idea. However, Barata goes for e5, and it's also a well-known move, just a bit of a sideline. Here we have knight to h3, developing the knight to h3, and this is probably with the idea of controlling the g5 square. The knight can also be developed to e2. It will also support for example, castles in f4 at some point when you decide to do it. But knight h3, it's a bit of a different move than usual, and well, preparing bishop to g5. We have knight g to e7. Black also develops, prepares the castle, and now f4. As planned, we have d6, and now both players castle. We have castles and castles. But castling for black here was maybe a little bit dangerous because, well, as you'll see in the game, white has something very devious planned. Here, h5, maybe stopping white's further expansion is the way to go. But okay, we have castles, and now comes f5 by white. So already it's a very unpleasant position as of move 9. f6 is being threatened, which would win material. So here black needs to figure out how to deal with this. So black pushes f6. Is this one of the positions where f6 will cost some on the game? It's hard to say, but here white continues with the g4. Not worried about well, making moving the pawns in front of his own king, because white will be able to use the g file a lot more than black, because here, for example, if black decided to capture, white would of course play king h1, bring the rooks into the game, bring the bishop into the game, whereas black would have some difficulties well, activating these knights. The bishop, it's very hard to activate the bishop, so it would be white who would benefit most from opening up the g file. So here black decides to keep it closed, g5, and now comes knight to f2. You could go for the immediate knight captures on g5, but white waits a little bit for this, because it doesn't seem like black has all that much to do. So white first wants to get this pawn into the game, and then white will decide when he's going to break through on the king's side. So rook b8, black plans to start pushing the b pawn, and bishop to e3 now. White continues development, we have b5, and now queen to d2. We have h6 by black, and now h4, preparing to bust open the king's side, a6, and now comes knight to h3, and here b4, just pushing back that knight. So knight to e2, knight is coming to g3, and now knight to d4. So that's a very active knight. At some point white will have to decide whether to keep it there or just trade one of the pieces for it. So here knight to g3, and knight e to c6 now. It's very hard to get these knights into the game. The white's pawn structure here is just beautiful, especially since black has a light square bishop completely blocked in, so black will also need to figure out a way how to activate that bishop. So here, although you could capture an h4 right away, it looks a bit dangerous, giving white so much space. So instead we have knight to e6, like we said, and rook to f2. White will now double rooks on the f file. We have bishop to d7, and now rook a to f1. So the rooks are now nicely doubled, and here bishop to e8, trying to activate this bishop in any way possible. Here we have a capture, we have h captures on g5, h captures, and now c3, getting rid of the knight, so deciding not to give up any pieces for that knight. We have captures, and now knight to b5. And here, before rushing in with any knight captures or bishop captures on g5 ideas, first pushing back the knight even further. Knight to c7, and now comes bishop to f3. Here white wants to now occupy the h file for the rooks, as this is now, aside from the b file, the only open file on the board. So bishop to f7 by black, and now bishop to d1. We have knight to a5, and now rook to h2. So the rook is brought to the h file, and here we have queen to e7. And now you can even pause the video here and try to figure out what white played here to try and make a breakthrough. But I think you already know, because we kind of mentioned it, but you didn't know at which point in the game white will go for it. So it's not really even a piece sacrifice, because black's pieces are very much misplaced. Knight's not really being included in the game, but it's a weird opening. So here knight captures on g5. For those of you who were able to do it, congratulations, and this is for those of you who just want to enjoy the show. G captures, and now bishop captures, so grabbing those 2 pawns for the piece. So like I said, you can't really even consider this a sacrifice. Bishop to h6, and now bishop to h6 with tempo, as the rook is under attack, and now you're preparing g5. So rook f to d8, and then now comes g5. The bishop has to move. We have bishop to h8, and now g6. So this is really now a monster pawn chain. Bishop back to e8, and now comes knight to h5. And it was in this position on move 32 that Adriano, Albiani, Barata resigned the game, and a brilliant victory for Michael Aigner. as black really has no options here. Whatever you do, you're just getting crushed. This wins a piece. You can even just continue pushing. I mean, there's nothing for black to do here. If you try something like bishop to f6, you can just capture it, captures, and bishop to g5 just wins material, and it's really a it would be a pointless it would be pointless just to even continue playing this game. So after this knight to h5 idea, black resigned, and what a victory for white. So this is the game both Thomas and myself nominate for the Gazprom Brilliancy prize. Let me know if you guys agree for that. And they even made a special trophy at commemorate this Brilliancy prize. Here is the trophy, so let's check that out as well. So this is the Gazprom trophy. You can see how amazing it is. It's hard to say if it's a, can't really decide if it's a king or a queen. Could be both, could be neither, but I think it is one of them, or maybe it's both. It's hard to say, but it really is a nice trophy, really a nice one. Especially enjoyed the cloak, very Harry Pottery. But yeah, there you have it. And also, I would just like to share this with you as well. A little message from Grandmaster Thomas Luther. Luther, you've heard his message in the beginning of the video. It is a way to develop self-esteem and earn recognition. So, talking about chess, here it says Grandmaster Thomas Luther is a 3-time German champion, 1993, 2002, and 2006, who reached the top 100 in the world ranking. Thomas became a world-class figure in an extremely competitive field despite the added challenge of being born with a physical disability. Learning chess at an early age was key for me to succeed in life. The Chess Olympiad for people with disabilities will give a voice to disadvantaged people and will also help them to develop self-esteem and earn recognition. Chess is the only all-inclusive sport, explains Thomas here. In these events, there are people who are facing challenges in life, and they will have the opportunity to meet other people facing similar chances. So there is a lot of communication, and friendships develop among the players. The social aspects are very important. So there are countless reasons for you to play chess. I can't think of a reason why not to play chess even, but the reasons are countless, and here we have some very nice reasons by Thomas, who is also struggled with some of these problems, growing up and advancing in chess, as he did break into the top 100 chess players in the world. I will also include a nice article from the New York Times about Michal Aigner. If you want to check that out, it will be the first link in the description below. And also congratulations to the winners of the Olympiad: first place Poland, second place Russia, and third place Ukraine. That's the game. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you enjoyed the game. There are other, of course, choices online. I've seen some other YouTubers and Twitch streamers already announced their picks, so you can check that out as well and decide on which one you like the best. But yeah. That's the game. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to thank a mystery person, Derek King, Giovanni Bella, James Hips, and the Pizza Guy for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Continuing the coverage of the Morphe saga, checking up on your wonderful suggestions, and whatever else happens in the chess world. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.